This is exactly what we wanted to see. America's car marts. Where are the cars? Well, they closed down.
Why do American cars suck so bad?
How are y'all buying cars right now? Oh my God.
Well, I guess this is it for Bill Cole Auto Mall.
If you're in Las Vegas, never buy a car from this place.
Right now, car dealerships across the country are panicking, and honestly, nobody feels sorry for them. After years of predatory tactics and sky-high markups, the tables are finally turning. Stick around, but first, smash that like button and subscribe because this one's worth sharing.
You know the car market is getting bad when dealers are wholesaling cars that they originally had for retail. This thing has been on the lot since 2024. This has literally almost been on a lot for 2 years. 18 months. 18 months this thing has been on a lot. You want to know the number one reason why this thing hasn't sold? Did you say price? Because that's what it's got to be. The price has to be the reason this thing hasn't sold. Or the fact that it's a Jeep. It's actually kind of funny. This thing only has 44,000 miles on it. I would get wholesaling an old car like this, right? Because this thing, by looking at the driver's seat, this thing probably has almost 200,000 miles on it. And it has a rejection sticker for the state inspection. So probably needs some work, right? And it's probably worth more than the car to do the work. But when they're wholesaling cars that they tried to sell for retail for almost 2 years. Sometimes you get caught at the dealership making videos. That's kind of funny. The one thing there, and I've noticed it in the past few months now, because they're not selling cars, they're going back to their old tactic. Salesmen would not even bother talking to you because they were getting 5, 10 grand, 20 grand over sticker. But now it's the same, go full circle again, and they're coming back up to you and they're basically chasing you down.
How much inventory they have. Take a look at this.
All right, this is a dealer in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and as you can see, truck inventory, it has picked up significantly. Like, not a little bit, a lot of it. You think the video is going to end, and then it keeps going. Now we're into the Jeep inventory, and there's tons of Jeeps, and then we get into even more Jeep inventory, and it just
keeps going. And it keeps going. And it keeps going. And this is...
What's going on in the car market?
Right now in the car market, man, we're seeing the car market crash. Affordability is one. These vehicles they're putting out, they're basically a laptop on wheels, and the cost that average people can afford them. We can't afford $3,000 car payments, like having a second mortgage. So what we're seeing in the market right now, we're watching GM fail. We're watching Nissan have problems and issues with their vehicles, recalls that are really hurting the market. But man, price is huge. With this time that we're at war and people tightening up, last year they had an increase. It's the biggest inflationary thing is insurance, and all of our insurance premiums have shot sky high because of the cost of vehicles and what the cost is. Insurance company said that the reason they went up on their premiums is because of the cost of vehicles, but they went up on their premiums, but they're not going up on the amount that they're willing to pay for repair. So if you go look at their fourth quarter, third quarter profits, it's in the billions of dollars. And it's not actually that cars are more expensive to repair because they're not paying us more hourly or in parts. So, man, keep an eye on it because the auto market's going to crash.
He's connecting dots most people miss. Car prices got so out of control that insurance companies used it as an excuse to hike premiums over 20%. Yet they're still paying repair shops the same rates as before while banking billions in profit. It's not inflation, it's just profit dressed up as necessity.
So I'm at a Mercedes-Benz dealership and I have been here for 4 hours trying to buy a car and there are no customers here. I'm walking around this lot and I'm seeing cars that are $90,000, $80,000, $100,000, pretty on brand for Mercedes. But what's alarming is there's nobody here, not a soul. And I've been here for hours. I'm not seeing market adjustments. I'm not seeing markups. When I'm talking to the salespeople, they are not budging on their prices. Now, maybe it's just because this is a Mercedes dealer. I don't know. But what I can tell you is this is not a good sign. Emptiness. And part of the reason for that is these ridiculously expensive electric cars. Let me show you. This is a Mercedes-Benz 2026 EQS 400 4MATIC. This car is $100,000. So 100 grand for that electric car. Let's compare that to another car right here. Who is going to buy that when you can buy this for less? This car right here is about $91,000. This is a GLE 53 Coupe, actually 101. So the same price. Think about that. You want to buy a stupid electric car for the same price that you can get this? Car market is broken.
This is exactly what we wanted to see, America's car marts. If you guys remember, I did a video here not too long ago, but where are the cars? Well, they closed down. Almost 30% of their footprint is gone. They didn't close every store, but they closed a lot of their stores. So this is exactly what we wanted to see. This is a buy here, pay here in the United States, known for extremely high interest rates and some crazy stuff. But this lot was just full of cars. And we're gonna go to a couple of their stores today and see how many they have and see how many have closed, because a lot of them are closed. It's a $70 million loss is what they've taken. So it's really been a struggle for them overall. They had no other choice but to close these stores. Literally, this dealer full of cars not too long ago, and now they have no cars available. This is what they're going through. This is what we want to see. Finally, some dealerships closing the shop, closing the door, locking it up. I wonder who's gonna move in after this. Obviously, it's gonna go somewhere else. You know, someone's gonna rent it out, but man, talk about some crazy stuff. America's Car Mart, finally, it's what we've been waiting for a very long time, because unfortunately, you know, buy here, pay here, high interest rate loans, always going to be to low credit people as well. So think about that. You're going after the lowest credit, all this stuff. And now finally, man, they finally locked up shop. We're going to a couple of these stores today throughout Oklahoma. We're gonna see which ones they've closed, because it's only about 30% of their footprint is closed right now. They lost $70 million in one quarter. They had no other option. But what do you think happens when you loan money to people that miss their payment? What do you think's gonna happen? Obviously, you're lending money out to people that can't make their payments. So they're going to go ahead, and it's gonna be a bad thing. We got some people right there. They do not like America Car Mart at all, man. But we're gonna go to a couple other locations and see what's going on. So now we are at another location. This one does look like it's still open, but they don't have many cars. I mean, last time I was here, this whole lot was full on this side. They still got the stuff up in the air, but yeah, they're really struggling to actually get customers in. You know, obviously they lost so much money. This America's Car Mart, they're closing over 30% of their locations right now. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. We got a 2015. Yeah, they don't even put their pricing on the window, which really goes to show kind of how they do business. And it's extremely high. I don't know. It's like, I don't know if you prepay interest or how. They do it really tricky where they get you good. They get these people really screwed up, man, where they're stuck like Chuck with these cars. Let's see, another 2015 Nissan Altima on this one, 4-cylinder. I don't see any prices, but yeah, they're very different. There's the buyer's guide right there.
Let me ask you something nobody in the car business can answer right now. What happens to the entire U.S. auto market if $15,000 to $20,000 cars show up tomorrow? Right now, the average car in the United States, over $50,000. Payments are over $700 a month, and loans are being stretched to 84, even 96 months. People aren't buying cars, they're surviving the payment. Now imagine this. Chinese automakers start bringing in fully loaded vehicles for half the price. What happens to the franchise dealer? What happens to the inventory sitting at $45,000, $50,000, and $60,000? What happens to margins? Do they compete or do they collapse? Because the only thing stopping this right now is 100% tariffs. So here's the real question. If those walls come down, who survives?
This is the question dealerships don't want asked. The entire business model runs on people surviving 96-month loans on $50,000 cars, protected only by a 100% tariff wall. If that wall comes down, dealerships don't struggle, they collapse.
I was really on the fence about doing this video, but after I pulled up, I realized there's a security car here and they have the place kind of taped off. So it makes it even more exciting to do. You should plan on seeing a lot more car lots just like this one. Empty as f. Want to know why? Because when you treat people like garbage, like a number, like cattle, when you overcharge them for everything you do and you never cut them a break and you always find a way to maximize your profits without ever giving the quality service that your customer deserves, you eventually piss everybody off and you go away. Well, I'm going to be honest, that was bittersweet for me. That was where I started my decision to become an auto broker. It's all about money, right? So they'll screw over their employees just as quick, and they won't pay you when they owe you. They'll hold money back. They'll lie about the way that they do their pay. And, you know, furthermore, they'll overpromise and underdeliver, which is exactly what happened in this case. And what I saw even worse than that, of course, the lies to me and all the broken promises, was that the engine here was broken. The way they treated people, the way that they sold cars, it was all based on just making the most money. It didn't have anything to do with anything else. It was just, how can we maximize on every single deal and sell them the most aftermarket products, have the highest price possible, give the salesman the least amount of money out of the deal, who does the most work, by the way. And even so far as to, when I was there anyway, there was 2 sales managers. There's me and another person, and they kind of pit us against each other in the same office with all the same employees, and it makes you try and do better than them by ripping people off even harder without saying that. It kind of generates that atmosphere. So heed my warning, guys.
This clip taps into a frustration a lot of car buyers have felt for years. When dealerships build a reputation for high-pressure sales, inflated fees, and treating customers like they're just another commission check, it's no surprise that more people start taking their business elsewhere. When consumers lose trust, the market eventually responds.
You know the car market is hurting when you have dealerships like Toyota still selling 2025s and 2026. This dealership actually has 6 of them right now sitting on the lot for the Tacomas that are brand new 2025s. And I mean, look at that, 55 grand for a Tacoma. I mean, yeah, this one looks like it's a TRD. Their top of the line now, like the Trailhawk, whatever it's called, something like that, is $65,000. And the funniest thing, these things are not holding their value at all. I just saw one with a $67,000 MSRP, used with 30,000 miles, 2 years old, had already dropped $17,000 in value. That's unheard of on a Tacoma, to lose $20,000 in just 2 years. Because even a base model like the SR5, these things, I bet this one's about 45 grand, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, $43,000, as you can see right there. For an SR5, cloth seats, it's just a bare truck. It's nothing crazy to it. Well, they actually put bed liner in this one. That's kind of funny versus the traditional plastic like this. So this one actually has a bed liner in it. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, spray and bed liner. That's a $600 option versus getting just the plastic. I do like that though, because if you actually use the truck, it's better than the plastic.
Damn, you know the economy's down bad when you got all these cars at a Kia dealership.
If you live in North Carolina, do not come to Frontline Motors. They are trying to sell me a Chevy Cruze for 40 grand. Okay, and I understand the color is like pretty and all, but I know for a fact Cruzes are not worth this much.
The automotive industry is collapsing, and let me tell you why. National average for a car payment is over $700, and buyers are putting themselves in 4, 5, and 6 year notes. Add in the cost of inflation, what it is for someone to just get by in America right now. This is just a recipe to get repossessed. Let's go into factor number 2. Rideshare apps and delivery services. Most people are finding themselves in a position where, okay, well, I can't make ends meet just with my day job, so I'm gonna go DoorDash. I'm gonna go Uber Eats. Well, what does this tell the bank? You're gonna work out of the car that they're loaning you, right? Because it's a loan amount right now. You're gonna work out of the car and you're gonna destroy it. They're worried about their investment because they're lending you 16, 18, 30, 40 grand. When you destroy the car, they're not gonna get their money back. Even if rideshare apps don't apply to you, the next thing is if your account is in overdraft. If your account is negative within the past 90 days, most places are gonna decline you. If you couldn't make ends meet without a car note, well, what's gonna happen whenever you have a car payment on top of your monthly expenses? Well, I'll just show check stubs and that's an easy way around it, right? No, most lenders are requiring for the person to link their bank account. That's gonna show your deposits, where they're coming from, if your account's in overdraft. So rideshare apps, or if your account's in overdraft, no dice. Being in car sales, what does this mean for me? Burn, baby, burn. I want this car market to go ahead and collapse because the winners, who's gonna take the top and take the cake in this whole situation, is gonna be buy here, pay here, mom and pop shops. What are your guys' thoughts? And if you work in sales, I definitely want to hear from you. Drop down in the comments what you guys are thinking.
Record high car payments and years of aggressive financing have pushed affordability to the limit. Now that buyers are walking away, dealerships are finally feeling the consequences of pricing people out of the market.
So car dealerships in America are having a pretty hard time right now, and they need each and every one of you guys who are driving these older vehicles to come on in and buy you a new vehicle. Did you guys hear about Carmageddon? Carmageddon is the dealerships having to close down because their cars are too expensive and nobody's buying these $100,000 trucks, and $60,000 vehicles. So what's happening is right now at car dealerships, they have a surplus of brand new 2023s that they weren't able to sell. They have a surplus of brand new 2024 vehicles that they weren't able to sell. And they have 2025s that they weren't able to sell. And then we're in the 2026 and they have a bunch of those that are still sitting on the lot. That's crazy. Now here's the part that's going to shock you all. If the main part supplier for vehicles that are 10 years or older goes bankrupt, would it be suspicious if that company that supplies 80% of the vehicles parts for older vehicles goes bankrupt? Well, that's what's happening, and I think that is pretty suspicious, because if you can't get parts for older vehicles, soon you're gonna have to buy a new car. So they're going belly up, and now the part dealership is going belly up for older vehicles, meaning you can't get parts. That's gonna force you into a dealership to buy these cars they can't sell. I'm out.
A lot of the cars that's coming out right now is way overpriced. And these companies, they know that already. So don't be surprised the end of this year and the beginning of next year, they're going to be doing a lot of sign here. We'll give you 3 months off before your first payment. We'll give you 0 ARP. I'm going to tell you, no matter if your credit is good, bad, come on down. We'll sign you up. And it's crazy because they rather do this than bring the car down to the right price where it's affordable and it's not price gouging. And if you got bad credit and you got the money to spend on these marked up cars, whoop-de-doo, then do it. Do it by all means. If you're an average person looking to buy one of the newer vehicles and stuff like that, just wait it out. Wait till all of this stuff, because it's going to go down and they're going to be pushing cars out there for half the price, because this is just the beginning. People are not buying cars and they know this. That's why they're trying to get you in the door. But they want to keep that main mark sticker price without letting you leave that store.
Imagine buying a BMW M8 for $86,000 and it blew up less than 12 hours later. This is my buddy Zenis M8, well, was his M8, and he didn't even make it 100 miles with the car before it sounded like this. He purchased this car at 1 p.m. and at 1 a.m. had to call a tow truck to come pick it up because it blew up. Unfortunately, the dealership is doing nothing for him. They said the car was sold as is, so there's nothing they can do about that. Hey, so much for treating every customer with respect to ensure satisfaction and generating repeat buyers, am I right? We are proud of the quality used cars we sell. Now, I've seen some pretty scummy moves before, but selling somebody a car for $90,000 doesn't even make it 100 miles before it blows up, and then telling them you can't do anything to help them? Come on. Now, I guess legally selling a car as is, sure, they don't owe them anything. But as a company who guarantees satisfaction and treats everybody with respect, that doesn't seem like it fits for me. Like I said, nothing illegal was done, so there's not really much you can do. However, I know for a fact that I will never be purchasing a car from there or pushing anybody to go purchase a car from there. That is insanity.
I think we've officially reached the end of the road of having new cars worth buying here in America. Why? Because starting with the 2027 model year cars hitting dealership lots in the next couple months, you're getting mandated in-car surveillance systems. The American government has officially decided that new vehicles must feature cameras and sensors that monitor your behavior behind the wheel. And between this and manufacturers more commonly trying to rent you back features on a car you already paid for through subscriptions, I don't see how buying a new car makes sense anymore. New surveillance tech, it's disguised as something good. It's supposed to figure out if you're too impaired to drive, and it shuts the car off entirely if it decides that you're not okay. It watches things like pupil size, head movement, eye movement, and even drowsiness patterns, and I'm sure all that data is going to be handled in a perfectly safe and trustworthy way, and it definitely won't be used to price you out of insurance or target you with ads, because manufacturers would never try and find a sleazy way to make money off you, right? Of course they're going to sell your privacy to the highest bidder. And the part that gets me, what happens when this surveillance stuff goes wrong? Because it will go wrong. long. I mean, it hasn't even fully rolled out yet, and it feels like Ford has already considered recalling their version of the technology. Oh yeah, and you're paying for it too. Don't forget that part. Even if you're the safest driver on the road, these systems aren't free to put in cars, so somebody has to pony up the cash. So seriously, how long before we as car buyers just start going backwards, overhauling older cars with less tech and less interference? Because if this is the direction we're still going, I don't know how much longer buying a new car even makes any sense. I'm Big Clive 34. Follow me for the hottest car news daily.
Whether you agree with all of these claims or not, it's clear that more buyers are becoming frustrated with the direction modern dealerships and manufacturers are taking. Between rising prices, subscriptions, and concerns over privacy, it's no wonder more people are questioning whether a brand new car is even worth it anymore. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Flop Gear.